first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nebler. We appreciate you joining us wherever it is, however you found us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for live streaming with us. Or maybe you're watching it afterward. That's fine too. But if you do watch this show regularly, you know on Thursdays we are joined by Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest. Now, occasionally you're here in studio. Usually you're at your home studio, but that is not where you're at right now. Where are we finding you?
I'm down in Riverside, California. I'm actually in front of the Cheech Marin Cultural Center here and Art Gallery. Totally cool place. Mission is right across the street here. It is awesome. This is such a great place down here, and it's sunny and 75, so I can't complain.
Wait, Cheech has his own cultural center?
Yeah, that's it right there. That is called the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art and Culture.
That's cool. Well, yeah. So what is it that you're doing down there?
I had a shoot down here yesterday, so down there get some other work done and stuff for the radio show and podcast and doing that and flying home tonight for my shoot in the morning. So you know how it goes.
Yep, I know. You are always shooting, working on something, and that's why it's great to have some time here for you to be able to talk to us, because you always have good tips and tricks, as everybody knows who watches this show. And this one I think is really important: how to hire a contractor the right way, and I would imagine, and how to basically not get yourself screwed over. I mean, let's be honest.
Absolutely. And there's a ton of great contractors out there, but you're trying to weed out that little, crazy 1%, 2%, 3% out there that are just trying to take your back wallet and steal your stuff and or just do a horrible job. So the first thing, and it's state controlled. So if you're in Oregon or if you're in Washington, a lot of the same rules apply, but there's a couple different things you can do. First, they need to be licensed, bonded, and insured, and that's even your handyman. So if you're hiring a handyman to come over and do some stuff, in Oregon, they need to be licensed, bonded, and insured as well. And if you're in the state of Oregon, it's super easy. If you just give a call to the Oregon CCB, which is the Construction Contractors Board, call them up and say, hey, I'm trying to do some research. They will answer the phone and they will walk through you if they are a legitimate business, and they can talk to you about their history as well.
Nice. So you can actually call someone up and get some help and just be like, hey, what do I need to know about this person? What do I need to know about this company?
Maybe you've got 3 bids that you're working through and you're trying to figure it out. You give the Oregon CCB a call up and go, hey, I'm doing research on these. What do you guys think? Because, you might look through their background and go, oh, wow, they got sued or they had a complaint filed. Some of the best contractors will have a bad customer, just like there's bad contractors, and they'll have a complaint filed. And we start to see that a little bit more now with, it's almost like the Yelp of food out there, where somebody tries to hold hostage a review. Hey, if you don't give me $5,000 off my project, then I'm going to give you a bad review or file a complaint. And so you'll see that sometimes. The contractor goes, you're not holding me hostage. And now they've got a complaint and it's a battle. So you just want to make sure that you do the due diligence. If, it's pretty common for a contractor that's been around for 20 to 30 years to maybe have a complaint in their history over something that just was bad out of their control.
Yep. I mean, and that makes sense. That's logical. So I love that idea, though, that you can call up and just go through that and figure out what exactly that is and understand, there's bad customers just as much as there's, everything else.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is the state of Washington, they have the Division of Labor Industries. You can go on the LNI website and do the same kind of research, type their name in, look to see if they're licensed, bonded, insured, and all that other stuff. So same rules apply there. You've just got different state you're working on.
All right. So good tips right there for everybody out there who's getting ready to hire a contractor. What's another good thing that they should be doing?
Well, here's the thing. If you're hiring somebody to work on your house, maybe you're just having them clean the gutters or do stuff. If you're hiring them directly and they don't have their own workers' compensation insurance, they're your employee. So if you hire a kid in the neighborhood to go clean your roof, he falls off the roof and ends up in the hospital intensive care, you're paying for that. You're paying for their disability, their lost work as a homeowner, because even as a homeowner, the same rules apply. You are their employer.
Yikes. Okay, that is, very, very good to know. Everybody should really think about that out there. Maybe it's just a really good service or a really cheap way to get something done. Could not be cheap.
It could be really expensive. And so, do your research. And a lot of it comes down to a contract, right? When you hire a contractor, it should have every detail of what's in there. You know, if they're doing a bathroom remodel, I want to see what the knobs are going in there. You know, what's the time scale? When are you paying them? What's the payment schedule? You know, all of those things need to be way spelled out in the contract. And then the last thing before you sign that contract, give them a call at the Oregon CCB or L&I and make sure that all those things are valid. So that way, on the date of the signing of the contract, you're covered by the insurance and the bond and all that stuff. Because a week later, if they cancel it, you're grandfathered in most cases.
Yikes.
So you still have it covered. So that's the big thing.
Can you show them the contract that you have?
Absolutely. And there are laws like in Oregon, if they don't do their contract right, they can actually get fined by the state. So it's a big deal. So there's a lot of things. If you've got an older house, there's going to be like these lead paint addendums and all these things of paperwork that you have to do just to get through that process. And you have to follow that to be a licensed contractor in Oregon.
All right. So pay attention to your contract and have somebody take a look over and make sure that that you're covered.
Absolutely.
What else should we be doing?
Take your time. You know, don't get rushed. There are a lot of companies out there that maybe you call and get a quote and they go, hey, if you sign today, I'm going to give you 40% off if you sign today. Don't fall for it because they're trying to high pressure sell you. So take your time. If they're going to give you a discount today, they'll give you one in 2 weeks. Most likely. Just don't sign on the pressure.
Yeah, I have had that happen to me before with some pipes in my house. A company tried to do that and tell me that, everything's going to collapse. And if we don't do this right now, and you better sign this. And yeah, the high pressure thing can happen, and especially if you're stressed out about something already. You could fall victim to that. Thankfully, I did not, but that's a really good piece of advice. When
it comes to all those things like electrical, plumbing, foundations, roofs, if they're trying to twist you and scare you, that's a big red warning sign to me.
Yeah. So good, very good advice. Don't get pressured into something until you know for sure.
And one other tip too is that when you're in there working, for instance, like a kitchen remodel or a big project, that contractor is going to have to go order stuff. So don't be surprised if they ask you to pay for some of that down up front to do that. And I also don't have a big problem if the contractor is asking you to put a deposit down to get a very detailed estimate. Because at the same point, I don't want that contractor to go work for 3 or 4 days for free to give you this because they're still working. So many times a contractor will say, hey, I'm going to tell you that this project is $30,000, but if you want it down to the penny, I'll give you that, but I might charge you $300 or $400, but I'm going to take that off the overall price of the project if you buy it. That's fair in my book.
That sounds fair. Yeah, if somebody's putting in that much work, to get you something down to that specific price, and they're going to take it off at the end if you go with it. Yeah, that does sound fair.
That's a fair one for me. So, but take your time, do your research, ask for friends when you're trying to find one. Ask to see who did the projects. Hey, who did your kitchen last year? Did it go well? That's a great referral. If they give you referrals, sometimes that works. But the problem is I've seen some really bad contractors give their friends, cousins, and relatives, and all of a sudden you're calling them up and you're getting these referrals of projects that never happen.
Yeah. So definitely do that too. So check on with everybody. Anything else that you think is important?
Yeah, really, that's the big ones there. And again, can't do enough research on them. Another scam that I see out there is people using another contractor's name. So when in doubt, if they don't roll up in the truck with the name on the side, you can always just jump onto Google, find the company name, and give them a call and verify and talk to the owner to make sure that that's actually who you're working with.
That's really interesting and scary. So some of those ones that may just come up to your house, it may not actually be that contractor.
They might not. So make sure that you're working with the right people and that you're not working with maybe a former employee that's just out there trying to take money.
Yikes. Okay, well, really good advice. And so again, everybody, you can share these segments for anybody who's, maybe somebody who's looking to hire a contractor, or maybe they're doing one of these things that Eric just said not to do. Maybe send this to them so they can think about this and go through that process. All right, well, I know you're down there filming something, and I'm not going to press you to find out what that is, but that'll be a future episode. But for this week's episode, what can people expect?
I tell you what, we got a great show coming up this weekend. I am installing a brand new kind of door that lets air into a bathroom or lets your house breathe. that's got a very cool little groove in the front of the door. Air goes through the inside of the door and out, but you don't hear any noise from it. So it's the soundproof of basically a solid core door, but it lets about 50 cubic feet per minute through it. So it's perfect for a bathroom or anywhere that you'd have to have a louver door or one of those ugly metal grills.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing so it lets the house breathe. So I'm going to show you how to basically take your old door off, machine it, restain it, and put it back so you have a room that breathes so much better.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so that's on this week's episode. And again, walking through that for everybody. And I don't know if we could talk about any more on this. So
there's one more house that we go take a look. That's a very kind of masculine Northwest contemporary house that borders Forest Park, and it has outside this big, huge column that is a movie theater screen where you could watch it out. So it'd be looking like you're in Forest Park watching a movie outside. And it is super cool from that. It's a lot of cool stuff in it. I mean, the hood in the kitchen is made of marble. It's pretty over the top. Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild house.
That's crazy. Well, that's, again, that's going to be on this week's episode. Everybody can take a look at that and watch that. And what's the, just for everybody out there to remind them, what's the when, where, and how to watch?
All right, so you can catch the replay of last week's show, which was a lot of fun. That one had that crazy contemporary house that we went up and saw that's got the best view in Portland. That airs tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. New episode, 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. And, of course, Sunday night at 6 p.m. if you missed the Saturday one. And then by Sunday morning, it's up on YouTube. And I think we're getting close to 550 segments up there on that. So we've covered a lot of stuff. That's a great library for people to go look at, as well as your stuff.
Yeah, so much on there. So definitely go there, check out that as well. Find some of these segments. You can share them from there too for the YouTube channel. So share some Eric segments, check out the ones that we do together and some of the Fox 12 Now stuff too. So lots of things to watch, lots of things to go through and check out. Well, as always, it is good to have you on here, and I will let you get back to doing whatever you're doing. Whatever it is, I'm excited to find out about that. And now I also want to go to the Cheech Cultural Center too, just because.
I'm going to go over here to over to the Mission Inn over here, which is on the other side of this cool little building right here. But I think it's happy hour, so I got to go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right. Well, cheers to you. And everybody else, thanks for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. I'll talk to you soon.